Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review and dyno test of the Airaid Race Cold Air Intake equipped with their track day dry filter, fitting all 2015 and newer V6 Mustangs. This cold air option from Airaid is going to be for the V6 owners out there who might be spending a little bit more time on the track compared to the street and is looking for an extremely free-flowing filter while keeping things on the lower side of the price range. All right guys, I'm going to talk about why you might want to use this Airaid here in a minute, but first let's get those dyno numbers out of the way. We already established our baseline run earlier today using our automatic V6 behind me. We then went to work installing the Airaid along with a custom tune, and here's how we did. Baseline run using our automatic 2015 V6 gave us 241 horsepower and 235 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. With the intake and tune combination, the car is now making 260 horsepower and 249 pound-feet of torque. That's good for a peak gain of 19 horsepower over those baseline numbers and gains of as much as 21 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque under the curve. All right guys, so here's the deal. The 2015 V6 Mustang operates off of speed density and not a mass airflow sensor like the cars of the past. So that means that any of the aftermarket cold airs for your V6 do not require the use of a custom tune. So why do we use one? Because we want to see the biggest gains possible. Now, are you going to see some gains using an Airaid or an aftermarket cold air by itself? Sure, you'll probably see a couple of horsepower, maybe a couple pound-feet of torque, but nothing like we're looking at here because honestly, the tune is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting. With that said, as you can see, the car is making great power throughout the entire RPM range. A ton of torque down low, matches some nice high-end horsepower. So overall, the tune, the intake, they're doing their job and the car is really putting down some good power. So now that you know what kind of numbers you might be able to expect with your own ride, let's talk about that Airaid a little further. Before we go any further, guys, I do want to remind you that this is Airaid's track day option, and because of that, they strongly urge you not to use this thing on your daily driven Mustang. The difference lies within the filter itself. It's this high-flow cotton gauze material that's not going to offer enough particulate protection for daily driving use. Now, with that said, is there going to be people that use this on their daily driver? Sure, but ultimately that's totally your call. If you do plan on running this intake though, here's what you can expect, guys. A very nicely constructed roto-molded plastic intake tube that should help reduce any heat soak, and it is going to be the same elbow used on all of their other kits available for the 3.7. You're also going to be receiving brand new four-ply couplers, really nice aluminum fittings here, and the stamped sheet metal style heat shield, which is a nice departure from some of their sealed air boxes. Again, guys, we do have the dry track day filter from Airaid here. Now again, this thing starts out life like most other Airaid filters, polyurethane casing, wire mesh skeleton, but you're gonna find that high flow cotton gauze material. That's gonna capture most of the big stuff, but it's not gonna offer the same level of filtration or protection like their Synthamax or Synthaflow filters. This thing is, again, washable, it is reusable, and it's gonna ship to you dry, which is nice because I prefer a dry filter personally. You do have the option of oiling it if you like, but personally I would leave it dry for a few reasons, the biggest of which being it's a lot easier when it comes to maintenance. On the topic of price, guys, the Airaid's going to land just south of that $300 price point, which I think you'll find to be one of the more expensive options when it comes to cold airs for your V6 here at AM. Now, I've been on record before, and I'm going to say it again, I really enjoy the Airaid's quality of construction, and the same is true with the race option here for your V6. You're not going to be disappointed when it comes down to the quality of materials or quality of fitment. And that great fitment is only going to equate to an easier install, and that's definitely going to be the case here with the Airaid, guys. An easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on my difficulty meter, maybe 30 minutes from start to finish, and that's being generous. As for your tools, you're going to be looking at some basic stuff, guys. Socket set, a few screwdrivers, and a pair of pliers is really all you're going to need to knock this one out. So to wrap things up here, guys, if you're serious about tracking your Mustang and you're looking for maximum performance without compromising safety of your motor, then the track day option from Airaid will be a solid choice, and you can find yours right here at AmericanMuscle.com.